testimony, and my beautiful Mexican booze thing is making doing some cooking, not Mexican cooking, but I've actually forgot she's Mexican unless she's been talking on the phone to another Mexican or cooking. But I don't know who would be showing up to this one exactly yet. So I wanted to touch on it'll could kind of touch on it when we hopefully get to the point of sharing testimony, um, where it was becoming really evident. I'm gonna grab my Bible too. You okay?
Yeah.
Oh. So it's really important. I think kind of touched on it before that the worst part of what a so-called target individual goes through isn't what they go through in the 3D circumstances around them. It's what happens within you, and how you can start to misconstrue things and get things all wrong, and how you could have a tendency to, do things like bear false witness and to not trust the process that you're going through, to marvel. You could marvel too much at the fiery trial that you're going through as if it's some unusual thing, not realizing there's a lot of others that have been through it. And so we were hoping to touch a bit on that. Like we did a bit in the last one about how we didn't even trust each other at certain times, right? Like, yeah. And it's like my cat was utilized to pull us out of that paranoia. And then we had shared about that interesting thing in Psalms 19 in the KJV, and then in Septuagint at because it's really deadly important that you gotta be able to see your own part in this, like how even if you've become your own worst enemy at times, and self-sabotage and everything, because that happens. If you've been going through this your whole life, the problem with abuse is that you could tend to internalize it, and then later on that could lead to a lot of false pattern recognition and stuff. And praise that we hadn't stayed in that my wife and I hadn't stayed in false pattern recognition with each other, because it's like looking back retrospectively, it's crazy to think about how easily that could have happened. So yeah, we were talking about when we were in that one town that we had gotten stranded in, and so then we went to go and stay with another relative to while you were pregnant with Israel. You got like an ultrasound for him and stuff, and then everything was going fine. And I think this part is worth mentioning because Anna. Eliana. We're all getting along with this route. Hey. Okay, was she having potatoes? Banana. Anna. Yeah, so things were going fine, and then one day this relative of mine, she decides that she has a hankering for hot dogs, and then and we were getting along really well, like, yeah. And then one day out of nowhere, she has a hankering for hot dogs, right, which often have pork in them. And now the dietary laws are an interesting sort of thing to me now, because it's like we definitely believe in eating biblically clean. It is beneficial, right? You will feel better. If you're fat, you might lose a whole lot of weight, right? They mean something deeper too, though, like what kind of people to avoid and stuff. But like if we weren't being, if it's easy to forgive, right? Like, okay, so if somebody's not a believer, right, you're obviously not going to really go and get mad at them. Well, hopefully, obviously, I guess not everybody would have the comprehension to not be arguing with people that are like atheists and stuff. And I'm really thankful to know that we're not supposed to do that. And this relative was not a believer, right? So, if they just decide they want to go have hot dogs one day, right? That's nothing to them, right? But it's like that gave the demons access into that person, right? And then things weren't going so great, and I love that relative. Yeah, we had to get out of there, and we went to go meet with other believers, and I've traveled around a lot, right? And before I had met my wife, I remember one noteworthy thing that happened with me, because I used to be on like a lot of bad medications and stuff. And my Eliana, you calm down. My thoughts used to race a whole bunch and stuff. And then when I was on the road going through persecution and stuff, going to meet with other believers before I met my wife, I got really sleep deprived, and I thought it was just because of that, because I'd spent a long time like off of the world sorcery and stuff, like all the dirty medications and stuff. And I experienced my brain slow right down, where I didn't have these racing thoughts. But then when I wasn't sleep deprived anymore, I thought that I had went totally like retarded, that my brain wasn't there at all anymore. And I was thinking closer to like what a human being's supposed to think like. Eliana. In 1 second, I'm just gonna put her here for a second, see if that helps. It means so loud. Excuse me. Here. Now you have an audience. And so then I got to a brother of mine. I got to his place, and this is the kind of thing that could happen. Maybe this would help somebody actually sharing this, because with me, right, after I've been through a lot of stress, I've had an unnatural thing that has happened, like a response I haven't wanted to have before, and it hasn't happened too often. It started happening. Hey, you calm down. I would numb out, right, and not be all there. So people that I would stay with, if I found a couch to stay on or something, they would misread me entirely, and then they'd think that I was pissed off, or like, yeah, it happened repeated times, and I was just like processing what I just went through and healing a bit. Eliana. You calm down. Did you want to carry her up for a bit?
Yeah.
Wants her mommy.
Yeah.
Anna, Anna. Anna, Anna. Anna. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay.
Lost my thought process there for a sec. So, I guess to put it simply, right? When you're trommed out, it can be easy for others that they don't have a brain, like the brain that you've had to function with. They don't have that same problem, and so then things could get misconstrued with you, right? And then you can see if you have understanding how that could happen, right? Then you're less likely to overreact to people that haven't been through what you've been through. And then my brain just died actually right there. I was trying to think about Eliana's like going yeah. What was I saying?
You were talking about how people misinterpreted you, they misread you and thought you were mad, or
yeah, they think I was mad, or they think I think I'll get back around to it, yeah, willing. Oh, okay, yes. You could be misconstrued, right? It's not your, not to look at it like it's your fault that you're all traumed out and you don't have a brain that functions like other people's brains, not to, like get all bent out of shape. And it's not good to be seeking like all your vindication and validation from other people from what you've been through. They haven't been through that, so you couldn't expect them to like just know what it's been like to be you, right? They're not you, right? And they could have had a bit of a more easygoing upbringing and stuff, right? They're not bad people for that. Right? Well, you get misconstrued and misread if you're not seeing like how certain dynamics are going, right? You're not healing yet from the and they're not really perps. You can start to see that, like, get all paranoid about a person that read you wrong, and then you start reading them wrong, and then it gets all screwed up, right? So that's what I wanted to touch on before my brain died there for a sec. Before we went to there, I just remember that day I took you out in that one really messed up town, and you're like, can we just go back? Like, get to the place where I'm staying here. Can we just go back? I'm tired of seeing all this messed up shit.
Yeah, the buses and stuff, all the demoniacs, and then the shapeshifter.
Oh yeah,
we saw.
Yeah, I guess we could talk a bit about some of the really crazy stuff, like
his neck.
Yeah, we've seen people with like elongated necks and stuff. That's kind of getting a little bit, because like there's people that have been targeted that they haven't even woke up that it's spiritual warfare, so they haven't seen nothing like that. And I kind of really think that don't take my word for this, but it seems to me that it's freaky what I think about that, because I don't think the Bible says minister to all creation, right? So, it's like I don't need to worry about who's a snake shifter or not, right? It's like minister to all creation, right? I think that sort of phenomenon, if anybody's encountered it, it could happen to like anybody if they're not if they go into some really dark realms. And like if people start trying to leave their body and stuff, right? And then demons get inside of them, or they do too many drugs that make them overdose and then like not be within their vessel properly, then they get more demons, and then messed up things can start happening within that person, like because we've seen some messed up things like There were like people with like these necks that came out, and then their heads like it was really screwed up. Yeah. Yeah, and then there was like people without their clothes on properly, and then we walked past a big pile of human poop, and you're like that's a lot.
Remember the one with that really weird stuff that he dropped?
Oh yeah, that. We were on a train, and then sometimes we would run into somebody, and we'd see if we could like share some Bible with them and pray for them, but then some people wouldn't like share their name with us and stuff. And then we got on the bus and we could sense this really like messed up like oppressive energy coming off of this one person that was sitting across from us, and it was really weird because they were like passed out, and I wanted to talk to them or pray for them, and they had like these two like stuffed animal things that looked like parasites with them, and that was weird. And then the guy went to go get off the bus, and then he left one of them, and then Adriana went and grabbed it, and then went and gave it back to him. I was like, I don't know if you should have done that. You should have just let him lose those things. There's probably some witch or something that gave him those objects, right? To hold him in bondage somehow or something, because that's what it seemed like. Yeah. And then you started having a hard day after.
Yeah, it's like I felt spiritually like sick.
Yeah, we got like we were like feeling like gagging and puking and stuff. And then there was that time when all those girls on the train, there was all these there was all these really young, like basically children. They had makeup on, all caked on their faces, and they're smoking on the train and stuff, thinking they're looking cool, listening to their music and everything. And my wife and I got really disturbed, but I think you were actually crying.
Yeah.
And then it's like the other people on the train were, the other people on the train were really bothered. And then it's like I had this indignation, and I realized nobody on this train can say anything about this because they're all guilty of the same like sort of sins. So I had stood up like in the middle of the train, and I said, we gotta repent. And then I forget what else I had said, but like, this like
broad rebuke.
Yeah, like because nobody could say anything, right? People are bothered by what the next generations become, but they can't say anything because they're doing the same thing. They're listening to the same music. They're putting those cosmetics on, right? They're chasing the vanity, so they can't say anything about it, right? And then we ended up talking to them when we got off the train, right? Yeah. About not like, what are they doing out so late? Don't be pursuing a path of like this, because it's going to lead to bad places and tragedies and stuff, right? And then you could see like the demon jump on some of those girls when we had said this, like they got the demons inside of them would get offended, right? Like, and so we were, I guess we were seeing some pretty crazy spiritual warfare like early on. And then so we ended up going to another city. I think we were only there for like 3 days.
Yeah.
I think it might have been before we left there, because we had that one flashlight in our tent, and because all I really remember was that instance with the security guards.
Oh yeah.
And then did you want to talk about that? So I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Hi. So there was another time when we went to the mall, and we were just going to get a few like groceries that we needed to eat while we were homeless at that time. And what do you call it? There was some security guards who were just like walking around us, and then they accused us falsely of stealing. So we had our cart full of all our gear and like backpacks. Yeah. We were just going to buy a couple of stuff at that store, and then the security guards, they just told us like, oh, you guys can't leave. 'cause they were gonna supposedly call the police on us that we had taken something, which we hadn't, and yeah, we were calm, and Corey just had told the security guards, go ahead and check all our bags and stuff. It's gonna take a long time because we had a whole lot of stuff. And then they looked at each other and they were just like, they didn't know what to say back. And they let us go after that, after we had checked out our items from there. Yeah, but it just shows at that instance that we didn't react out of being like 3D carnally minded or fearful. We were just confident, and that was Corey's response to that situation.
Let's get searching for this because we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of like glitched out, and then like.
Yeah, they looked at each other and they didn't say anything
They're like,
much.
okay, you
Yeah.
can go.
Yeah.
Like after all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Israel's no, not his. Yeah. Oh yeah, he was passing out. Yeah. And then the only other thing I really remember, I think it was when we were passing through that town that time that where we left our tent. Remember, we left like a flashlight that we could use for when we're in there at night to like read and stuff. And then when we came back, it was cut off of there. Like it was, so it's like somebody was trying to show us that they were there and trying to give a message of like lights out. Yeah. And do we have any snacks for them? Yeah. And then we had gotten into Calgary, like their big city. Yeah, that's that night. That's that night we seen that black helicopter that like wasn't actually a black helicopter. It's like
to go eat.
Yeah, it turned. Yeah, it turned in. That was after we found that place with. Every so often you'll run into people that are like actually decent people. And this guy said after we went and had pizza that we could just like we could just sleep on the patio there. He didn't care, right? He just had to get back home.
Yeah, we were like the last people there. He's closing his restaurant, and we ordered. He let us order a pizza.
And it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good pizza too.
Yeah.
We should have just slept there, but instead, for whatever reason, we should probably find somewhere else. And then we seen that what looked like a black helicopter turn into an orb, and then back into a helicopter. Anna. Oh my goodness. You're a hungry girl. Ooh. And
she's going through a growing spurt.
Yeah, we finally found that place to sleep.
Yeah, near the school.
It was near like some sort of like a daycare, like no, it was a preschool, like and it was summer, so it wouldn't have been open, but it was like we down by a river, and we only slept like 4 hours. That was the next night. Yeah, because we only probably got like 4 or 6 hours of sleep, and then we were going to find a specific spot to leave our camping gear, and then go and get the clothes and sleeping bags that we needed, and that. So we went and swam in this river. This was while Adriana was still pregnant with Israel. Directions. So we ended up like going around everywhere, and we were. I was up for probably like 17 hours straight that day, and she got like a little bit of micro sleeps when we were on buses and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we then we got our camping gear to like where we were gonna be camping finally. And then we went to go get some sleeping bags and stuff, and then like got all confused by the GPS again.
Oh, because it misdirected.
Yeah. And then so I thought that we were close to the wood to the area that we were gonna be camping, so we just started walking. But then we were like walking and walking and walking like along these docks.
And we were running out of water too. We had
yeah.
We had a little bit of electrolytes.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened a few times.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Hey, we'll just call a cab, like, and then tell them to go like to whereabouts we were, right?" But then we had to walk like forever still just to get out of this woodsy area we were in. And then that's when we ran into that weird looking person in that jumpsuit.
Yeah, he was like pretty tall man.
Yeah.
He looked like a criminal, yeah.
The kind of thing like that something that people will do to like commit a crime or like rob banks or whatever, right? They'll, the guy was like in like a rain sort of getup, right?
Yeah.
And so that he could quickly take off these clothes after he did whatever he did, and probably get into some escape vehicle or something. Remember, we were like cast down wicked imaginings. Then we texted him, my name Master Yahusha, and then that guy just kind of like wigged out, right? Because it looked like he was gonna stab us and stuff, right? And then change out of all this rain gear, and then that was a weird street we were walking down too. Remember the street itself was just all like weird and like dark and stuff. And then we went past a couple other weird demoniacs and that.
Yeah.
And then
I think we stopped at this place to rest, and then we called a cab.
Yeah, and then it took the cab like forever to get there.
Yeah.
And then that was like one of the most epic parts, because it was like 3:00 in the morning at that point. You could talk about some of this. I'm both take there for a little bit. You ate so much already. Yeah.
Yeah, so we went like towards this like restaurant that was there, and we just sat down and rested, and for a bit we called a cab, and then on the cab ride we had the windows down, and then we were just like calm, both of us, like peaceful.
And the cab driver
just
was
confident.
Like all excited
Yeah.
about having us. He was like, "Where are you guys going though?" He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, "Where you guys even
It's
going?"
like this late. Where are you guys heading towards? Or
Yeah.
we're just all like calm and with the windows down, just like
yeah. It's like he's all interested in us.
Yeah.
And then we went, because when we finally got like down to where we were gonna be camping.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where are you guys? There's nobody even here right now. Like, what are you guys doing?" And then that's when that thing happened where we
got glimpses of tribulation.
Yeah, we got glimpses of
as we were walking.
It seemed like we got. That's what it would have had to be, because we were. It's like we were. Sound crazy to people.
Ahead of time.
We were all sleep deprived and we were hallucinating like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, so, and the guy said that nobody was there, so like, and nobody was there. It's like we heard all these screams and what sounded like gunshots and seeing these flashes going off and everything. We're both so tired we were dragging our feet.
Yeah.
Remember, we didn't even go and get the camping gear. We just laid the sleeping bags down.
And with our boots still on, like our shoes, and we didn't care where the flashlights ended up. I remember I was looking for the flashlight, and Corey's like, "Just go to sleep," and we just crashed. So peacefully too.
Yeah.
Like
we didn't even throw a tarp over top of us in case it rained. We were done.
Yeah.
And then then the next day we woke up and we called that brother of mine
Yeah.
And then he
You want-
came and yeah. What?
You want me to carry her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We called
we walked a lot more too.
Yeah, I called this brother that I'd met before, who's also been through covert persecution too, and he came down from the mountains, and then so we got to go out there, and
went up the mountains.
Yeah, so I guess
There
we're at that, like, so if you go back and the videos, when you see the video, where is your power individuals, right? Because you're called empowered individuals, because things were messed up. We didn't know we were gonna survive that long. But crazy, yeah. And so that's like the part we were kind of wanting to talk about, because it's like we started going through these really heavy deliverance processes out there, because when you're out there and you don't have a lot of food, right? We had food, it's just like it was boring.
High altitude too, like
yeah,
just
we were,
in the fresh air.
Yeah,
nature.
Really high up there. The sun's hitting you really sharply and everything, and it's so quiet. And it's like that silence just kind of gets to you in this sort of like piercing way, but in like a good way. It's not comfortable though. Like when you first, like, it's like if you've ever been called to the wilderness kind of thing, right? And then it's which was another thing I wanted to talk about, right? Because I ain't advising people run to the wilderness, right? It helped me when I was at my wit's end. I'd be in the wilderness and then I'd go back into so-called civilization to try to share what truths I'd gleaned with homeless people and that, and try to pay it forward, right? Because just going into the wilderness to try to, that could be like running to save yourself, right? But for myself and my wife and I, we were at our wits' end, like, tired of seeing demons jump on people and stuff, tired of feeling under the knife on, yeah, because we were walking too
Being
long.
pregnant too.
Yeah. And then so it's kind of like the same way it went for me, that you don't it's not like, don't expect to be perceiving healing right away. Things could get pretty uncomfortable because you've been through a lot of shit, right? It's when we started to notice some of our own baggage and everything, though. Like, I remember, like, before we knew what we were gonna be. Yeah, we had these weird burps. We had these weird burps that sounded like demonic, and then eventually we stopped burping like that.
Feeling sick as dogs.
Yeah.
Like both of us, just like for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, puking.
Yeah, people could go through. That's why I call deliverance initial deliverance, because you can go through layers of it, right? And so obeying, helps, Yahusha says, if I cast out demons with the finger of Yah, and the finger of Yah wrote the 10 Commandments, there's protocols in Scripture. It's, you want to really pay attention to the inside of the cup, though. Especially if you've been through covertly persecution, it's like you have to watch yourself. You have to watch what comes out of your mouth. You have to watch what you do. You have to watch how you're processing things and how you could be processing them totally wrong. Like, we had some pretty bad arguments out there, like totally misreading things.
Because our minds are just racing because of the quietness, and there's no distractions up there. There's like, you don't have like the same.
And I don't think you read.
Comfort,
I don't think you.
At night we had to sleep with wool blankets. And
the
mousies.
I don't think that you read your Bible as much back then either.
No.
Yeah, it was funny. It was like the same day, the same kind of flow of the day would happen every day. At night we'd go to sleep. So from like from evening till like the sun came up, there'd be these mice rummaging around and crap, and they were kind of funny. Adriana really didn't like them. Then closer to the afternoon, these chipmunks would come and start stealing insulation from like what was supposed to be the walls of our place of dwelling.
We pooped in buckets too.
Oh, you didn't need to share that.
Oh.
I didn't. I just went out into the woods. Like, yeah. I think you were too scared to go out there because of like bears or something.
I did go dig though.
Yeah.
And we cooked too. Like,
I remember that. I remember that day. That day that like we were both really sick, and I was like, "Where did Adriana go?" I'm like, "Where the heck?" I went all the way down that dirt trail, like, and didn't find you down there. And then I go up to like where we set up our tents to get away from there for a bit. And I go up there, and you're up there sitting and throwing up, and you're like, "Don't talk to me right now, Corey." You're just sitting like over on that ledge. Yeah, and then so like the chipmunks would come be stealing fiberglass, and then there'd be like sometimes a bunny that would like hop right through the where we were staying, and then hummingbirds, and then
flies.
Then there would be a crappy part of the day where there'd be so many bugs. That's why I think that's probably is why they call it bugging out. Pretty excruciating processes. Is like there's a buildup from what you go through. I didn't realize one response I've had to stress throughout my life was like gagging and throwing up because of stress. But yeah, there was shit coming out of us. And then is there anything else that was pretty noteworthy about up there? Not that you could think of. Yeah, I remember we went to go do the math on like when Israel would be born.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we almost were like a whole month off, so we almost stayed there too long. Oh, I remember when we went to go get some groceries in the closest city. We went to go get some groceries, and that time, like, because we were like out of like so-called civilization for like a whole month or two.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then that time with all the planes and everything. Do you remember that? Yeah. I could take it for a second if you want to talk to me. What?
I don't remember.
You were busy with
that much.
Oh yeah.
Well,
you remember that? Yeah. Like, remember our brother was like running around with his camera and stuff, and there's like so many
people at the stores, how they would act like really.
Yeah.
They would get really close to us.
Yeah. Like bumping into us on purpose.
Yeah, like really close.
And then like there was all those girls that kept on doing that stupid thing over and over again. They'd like block an aisle and then bend over.
Yeah.
It was like they all kept doing the same dumb thing, because it's like they were it's like wherever we were going, like you could see the demons jumping person to person. They do and say the same things and everything. And it's like they were that deprived.
And then there would be like a huge line at the groceries too. Like there's all of a sudden a bunch of people would show up.
Yeah, people bumping in on purpose. Oh, like, sorry. Yeah. Anna. Come here. Is he still sleeping? Anna. There's your potatoes. Okay. Anna. Yeah, so.
I think we should.
Huh?
We should leave it.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of. All right. Well, hope people are happy Sabbathing tomorrow.
Yeah, but we should leave it where we got just in time back into the city.
Yeah, I remember that fire started and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It prevented us from getting like out
From
for
being
like.
out, yeah.
Because we almost did the math wrong, and then so that we don't have like a midwife like experience like to be like delivering
Yeah,
a
to give
baby
birth
just
in the mouth.
in supply too. But we almost like misjudged it by like a month, and then but then we redid the math, and then we're like, oh crap, we should probably go back to like where there's in case we need
Help, assistance, yeah.
So yeah, that's where we would leave it for now. Then we had more adventure to go through.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah. And it turned out because it was crazy because we were detoxing in phases. Remember, we weren't done yet, but that's like. Because we would be feeling all good, and then it's like we would be going through another layer of
Yeah, it was a lot. It was like layers.
Yeah.
Detoxing and spiritual deliverance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His creation is awesome. Like I miss it out there. Anna. All right. Oh, blessings, love, and peace, and have a happy Sabbath.
Yeah, happy Sabbath.
Oh, that's tomorrow when the sun
Tomorrow,
comes up.
yeah.
Yeah.